We got some fun, excitement. I'm sure we got the right people, the right place. Good happening in the Highlands. It's in July is a new concept we're trying to work with. It's a glow in July. And because it's our 40th anniversary of putting on a Bardstown Road Aglow, we're doing a warm-up event this year at no cost to the businesses, but we are putting together a retail weekend featuring all the local businesses and promoting the excitement of having the 40th Bardstown Road Aglow. We do have the trolley from Trolley to Ville will be running Saturday from 10 to 3. And on top of that, we'll have some surprises. As we go, but the board's been the excitement and see how we can flow. All right. After the meeting, we have a thing called shameless promotion. Nick, how about starting us off?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Daniel. I'm the director of self-seeking hypnosis. I have a Airbnb called Highland now. And I also have 3 memoirs, and I'm making them. Good morning. I'm President of
I want to be correct.
Tony, you can do it. Break down. Introduce yourself.
Do the concerts on Sunday evening from 7 till 9. And the first one is this Sunday, June the 1st, with the Amber Martin Band.
Yay.
Where is that, Tony? It's in Willow. Oh, I'm so glad. Like sick, man. Good morning, everyone. I'm Officer John Keeling. I'm the Division Resource Officer for our 5th Division here. Thank y'all, as always, for inviting us to be involved here.
Everybody, thanks for participating on the acting captain, the 5th Division. Major grandson is retiring, so I'll be taking a grow, just retirement official. So I'll see y'all do good.
Welcome.
Morning, everybody. I'm Dave Silverblatt. I'm your late watch commander for this area.
Jeff Myers, I'm a sales agent with Van Mitchell Realtors. I'm a board member and a treasurer for the Highland County School.
Yay. Come on, Larry.
I'm Larry Williams. I'm a trustee of the Cherokee Tribes Association. I work for Ed Lindauer over here, okay?
She said,
And so it's only Lindauer, and we put up with the country. We're gonna send you elsewhere.
not easy, is it?
It's not easy.
We have a cup of coffee and some Casito products in back to ease your pain.
Larry Roser, immediate past president of the Highland Commons Guild.
Thank you, Larry.
I'm Troy Burton, serve as the executive director of Highlands Community District.
My name is Ken Gary. I started a couple businesses here in Louisville and for the Live Pal, Rose, and Kentucky Shakespeare.
I'm Betsy, and the manager of Highland Children's Art Library.
Brian Holton, Hill Lager Haus, just part of Highlands, and also own my interim.
Megan Book, applicant.
Yeah, Rob Willie, I'm a 25-year resident over on Edward Avenue. I'm just started going working business with Boston.
Dan Borsch, I'm the Burton Boy Manor and the Louisville Tavern.
All right.
Ezekiel Handwood for Public Bank.
I'm kidding there. I'm kidding there.
Forgive me, I have to box a friend.
Yeah, okay. Connie Goldman, I am the chair of the District 8 Advisory Board, and we are meeting June 16th at the library at 7 o'clock. Come and complain.
It's 7 p.m. for those that don't, Honey's not exactly an AM type, but we are so happy she's here.
I'm Betsy Foster. I've been Reno-Weber's legislative assistant. I probably have talked to a lot of you, but if I haven't, my number's even fine, call me anytime.
All right. John. Introduction.
And Mark Thompson, investment advisors.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming. All right. The reason why the Lays, oh, yes, sir.
Please introduce myself.
I'm sorry.
I'm with Paristown. So.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for being here. Is there anything else you care to tell us about?
This one didn't get to say his name. either.
Ralph, you didn't say good morning? Come on, Ralph. Yes, thank you. My apologies. I put people on auto and I think they just took care of it. It takes a village. Thank you. All right. Now, one thing, the reason why the Lays are on your table is that Bardstown Road Aglow is taking a little bit of a Hawaiian theme for the Aglow in July. So if anyone feels festive or just down, by all means, please take one, put them on, enjoy, celebrate, encourage you to think ahead, be productive, and you too can be part of the excitement. Well, Lieutenant Mason Brown, would you please come up, give us a little bit about what's going on? And I believe he has some insights into what Bardstown Road Aglow has been up to, or Bardstown Road. Oh, God help us. It was glowing a little differently.
So I'll reintroduce myself. So I'm Lieutenant Mason Brown. Right now I'm filling in as acting captain for the 5th Division. Upon Major Grissom's retirement, I'll take full authority of the division. So So I'm having to prioritize information. Speaking to y'all was there was a little bit of a streets, nothing like that, but we would like to keep a little more order in the city, correct? So just so everyone knows, our plan here is ask him to move forward on it pretty quickly. We'll have an additional detail, so we'll run an additional squad in that area. We'll probably utilizing something they call the Cooper curve. I'll save y'all the science behind it, but pretty much you put officers in the right place at the right time, you can prevent crime and disorder by 10 to 18%, right? So that's our goal, okay? So we're going to try to prevent crime instead of catching criminal acts, correct? So that's our goal. I'd much rather prevent a statistic than make a statistic, if that makes sense. So the detail will run on Bardstown Road. It's pretty much going to run from how locations are based off data-driven policing. So y'all will see it down. We're also going to increase presence on Bardstown, right? So issue that we're constantly going to try to show attention to for the summer month, especially. Officers will start doing roll call. So the detectives and patrol will go to a designated location, and there will be 10, 15 of them there. The ideal is that as people will see the officers in the area, is hopefully if they are up to no good or criminal acts, they just leave the area in general. That's pretty much our goal for Bardstown, right? So I would love to promise y'all that I can give y'all unlimited resources to the area. That would be factually wrong and I lied to y'all. I'm operating with limited resources per division staffing levels. I'm sure y'all have heard the chief talk about this. The department is obviously several hundred officers short. But I don't want to use that as an excuse for not doing our job properly, correct? So we will do the best we can with the resources we have, and we will essentially saturate or flood the areas during the appropriate times, the proper locations during what we believe through data-driven policing that we need to be there. Like I said, I would love to get into a lot more crime numbers with y'all. Be honest, y'all, I just haven't had the time to actually review it. I've only been in here for 4 days, I believe. So give me a little bit of time to get those numbers. Next time I come back to y'all, I can give y'all pretty much any statistic y'all want. I can try to answer any questions related to the tap room incident or this last weekend. If you have any questions on that, sir?
How can we help?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. So we all know John Keeling back here, correct? Well, I need from everyone here who is a business owner or knows a business owner, please give him, I would love for everyone to fill out trespass waivers on y'all's property. All right. If you don't know what that is, please get with John. It gives us a much more legal authority to prevent issues from occurring. For example, if we see a large group congregating on a private lot and there's not a trespass waiver and you're not there, I don't have authority to go run them off or to prevent an issue. But if you sign a trespass waiver, you're giving us authority to go on your property and to say, hey, the owners don't want y'all here acting a fool. You have to go somewhere else. And I would love to implement that. So I came from the first division. In the first division, I believe we had 2,500 waivers on file, pretty much every business downtown. It was a big push we made. It just allows us to help y'all and y'all to help us. So that's one thing I would like if you're willing to do so. Sir. To make that valid, you have to post sign or can you just file? I believe John, sign has to be posted, correct?
Prefer that sign be posted. I believe in court, we've been able to set up and it's in a notarized waiver from the property owner or controller on file that is valid and that has worked. But it helps to have the sign. Good.
Is the request that you made, is it just word of mouth, or somebody canvassing all the business owners?
I know the droves do go whenever they meet somebody, usually it's brought up on a frequent basis, correct? But obviously I have a large group here, so if y'all can help spread the word. Like I said, it may sound corny, but we do have the new logo on one metro, one mission, right? I would like to run with that, correct? So like I need y'all's help. And because it's just impossible for us to do it alone. I only have limited resources. But if y'all can spread the word of mouth, like, hey, LMPD's asking for this. If you're willing to help to prevent another XYZ incident from occurring, please contact the 5th Division and Officer Keeling will get them worked out pretty quickly. Either way.
Is this just if like the property owner calls you guys for a problem, or does this just give you guys the blanket, like we can come on your property whenever we want, for whatever we want type of deal?
No, I mean, obviously, like I said, I have very limited resources, so I'm not going to be going to your property just to bother 1 or 2 people. That's 100% not the intention of. The intention of it is if we're having issues there, we can address it, right? So a lot of times, like John would speak to the owner and be like, hey, what are y'all wanting out of this trespass waiver? Y'all want us to run off everybody, or y'all want us to just let it go until it's a problem where you think we need to intervene, correct? Yeah, I'm in no way trying to take any privacy away from anybody. That's not the goal. The goal of it is, let's say, for example, let's say like last night we had an issue and you had trespass. Why did y'all not address it? And then we will know exactly what you want. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Say that you can act on a waiver, and I will create an email and send it out to Aaron. Aaron, you can share it with your membership, it has the form, whatever requires you to do it. And we can also include it in the district newsletter, as well as other means of communication that we may have. So, and if you would like something separate, you can let me know and I'll make sure that happens.
And always, like I said, if you talk to anybody, like a lot of people are still maybe apprehensive of the 574 LMPD, the tip line. Like I promise you, I just want her notified of phone numbers or names or anything of that nature. Same token, you can call your councilman and be like, we live in a world
world of now social media, correct? So all my media is pretty much going off of different, a lot of times it's the most accurate information you can get. So yeah, just, we need y'all's help too. To run the area that we want to see, right? Problems at all. And the Highlands are very cool.
God, think of it that way as well. I have it here for y'all today. And like Major said, we need y'all's help. Call us. We need y'all to help us. We can't be everywhere all the time. And we need your help. Thank you.
I apologize. I don't have business cards to hand out because I'm obviously in transition. I don't think anybody needs to be calling the first division for problems that are occurring here. So if that being said, I do apologize. I do need to run to another meeting real quick, and I have to steal Lieutenant Silverblatt with me. So if y'all need anything, please reach out to the division or John specifically for the time being. And next time I'll bring all my contact information for you. Okay. All right. Thank y'all.
Well, it's great to welcome you to our community. We look forward to working with you all and building a bigger and better Bardstown Road. I tell you, it's such a rush at times, and of course with caffeine, it's even better. But there's a few things that I think Betsy would like to give us a little updates upon and following what Ben Reno-Weber's been up to. Come on up.
You bet and not trip over the bar.
So, well, come around this way.
That would be me.
You're in the danger zone, girl.
I'm good. I'm good.
The with Ben, it would have been up to the ceiling.
That's true. That's true. Good morning. It's good to see everybody. We just want to give Ben is not in town, but he wanted to make sure that everybody understood that ABC and LMPD have his full support for what they're trying to accomplish on Bardstown Road and what happened Saturday night. He does not agree with the activities that occurred, and there will be a press release going out today with his full statement on it. So I hope that you will see that, but I want you to know that he gives full support to LMPD and ABC in their efforts. And as you know, we've had some success, and it's always going to be continuing that things are going to happen. We just have to figure out how to address them all. So thank you for that. So a couple of things to talk about, and one of the major issues that comes up besides crime is street humps. As you know, last year in 24, we had only 7 speed hump requests, 7. We were able to do all of them and pay for all of them. This past year, we've had 27, and the cost has gone up almost half. So it's more expensive, and we're not going to be able to. So my bad news today is we have now run out of funds for the street humps for this year. We have to wait until next year for more funding. That's not a bad thing. It's just that we need to remind everybody that our budget is only $100,000, and that has to cover all capital infrastructure things a year. That's not a lot. Some of the street humps that have been approved have been almost $41,000 for one street. So we're asking, as a part of the budget discussions with Public Works, if maybe street humps might be able to be included in some other things. We don't have any agreement on that. So you'll just have to bear with us if I send you an email, which I've had to do a lot lately. They have been approved. We do not have the money to assist you, or if we do, it's only going to be a small amount. And if you can privately raise the other funds, we can still do them as well. That's not the best answer, but with the cost and the number of requests that we've had, that's what will happen. So I just wanted to let you know that it's not great news that makes everybody happy, but the reality is $100,000 is not a lot of money. So that's to do everything, signs and street humps and fix sidewalks when we can, and so many things I can't even think of. But anything that is physical, that comes out of that fund. So I just wanted to make sure you know that. I also want to ask you about sidewalks. I get a lot of calls about sidewalks.
as we should, but I need your help. There's not a lot of funding for sidewalks, for new sidewalks that have been reported. If they reported 2 years ago, they're already on a list to be fixed at some point. So what I can do is I can do remediation on sidewalks, but they have to meet certain criteria. So if you have a trip hazard and the separation between the two pieces of pavement are significant enough that somebody could trip, it's either raised, maybe 2 inches. 2 inches is a real good one for me to be able to take care of. Please take pictures. Don't just report them to me in writing. Take pictures and send it to me so that I can send it to Public Works, because remediation they will do without any problem and without us asking us a lot of questions. It's definitely a safety hazard. We have a beautiful district. We have beautiful sidewalks. They're old. And unfortunately, we've got to figure out a way to crack this particular situation. That's something that Ben and I want to work on for next year in the budget process. So those are the 3 biggest things in that respect. I did want to add something for Bardstown Road. You may notice that there are now 3, I think it's government officials only parking spaces in front of, across the street from, this has nothing to do with tap room, but there's one across from the tap room. There's one in front of the Atomic, and there's another one near where 942 Baxter used to be. Those are for police officers to park from 10 a.m. to 6 a.m. to help prevent, again, back to preventing crime. So hopefully the visibility of those cars being there will help. And if I'm not mistaken, John, they record all the time, right? When they're parked? Do they record all the time, the cars when they're parked?
Are you talking about RTCC cameras?
I don't know.
Say a parking space here, where we are.
When they're sitting in a parking space, do they record?
You're saying the camera in front of those spaces, you only mentioned they would be recorded.
Okay.
Couldn't guarantee it right now.
It should be a good deterrent. That's what we put them for. They just went up on Friday, so people didn't even know they were there yet. So hopefully if they had been there. And people had known this weekend something as well. We do have a community. Is it 8:30?
No.
No?
6.
6? Thank y'all very much. Beth, I should always ask you. It's at your place.
Yeah.
So it's 6 p.m. on June the 17th. At the library meeting, as Hani mentioned, is on the 17th. That's where if you need my number, my direct number, you can call me at 574-3455. And I try to call you back within 24 hours. Okay.
Questions?
Any questions from anybody about anything?
Author.
Oh, you wanted to ask a question? I thought, so Hani and I've known each other for a very long time, and she's always guiding me on things. So I thought she was telling me to ask y'all to ask questions. So yes, Hani.
Speed humps,
Yes.
can residents, fund them?
Yes.
So it doesn't come out of your all's budget?
The requirement for speed humps is not that it demands that the district pays for it. That's an option. Some districts will give you a small amount of money and you have to fund the rest. Last year, we were able to fund all of them because the prices were cheaper and the costs were not as high, and we did all 7 of them. This year, that's just not a reality with 27 speed humps. So my letter to you, my response will be to you that we will look at that when we have funds, determine whether we can pay any, a partial amount, or all. And I know that that's hard for people to hear, but the reality is that we cannot spend all the money on all the speed humps. In fact, we have $230,000 worth of speed humps right now.
But if an area wanted to raise them?
They can do it themselves. It's private. Private doesn't even have to be a neighborhood association. It can just be private individuals if they would like to fund it.
And how do they do that?
Did they go through you?
They have to
all?
go through the city. So they would go through Public Works. You just contact me when you make that decision.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So right now, the latest ones that have been done are Spring, Christie Avenue, and we have a couple of others. Edenside was approved, but we don't have the funding for it. So that letter has gone out to say just that we'll reconsider it after the budget, which happens on July 1st is when we get the new budget to look at, and we'll take those into consideration.
The speed hump money, is that included for like fixing street, like potholes and stuff, or is that all separate?
So potholes, it's good news. That does not come from our budget.
Okay.
That comes from the city, so that's why I can get those done quickly too. The things I can get done fast that don't cause any money, potholes, remediation of sidewalks if they are significantly dangerous enough. The cosmetic sidewalk things, that is something we would have to pay for, and that would come out of the same money that speed humps would come out of. So, any other questions? Yes.
This stems from curiosity, but, does Public Works, they build the speed humps or, you know, are we collecting bids for each speed hump?
We have contractors that had to bid on doing the work. Right now, I think we just have one contractor that's doing them all.
I've worked in capital projects my whole career.
Mhm.
We had one supplier and raised the price by 50%. I'd probably look for other suppliers. Is that an accident? Is that something that?
That is what happened last year because the contractors who were doing it did not do it anymore, didn't want to do it because they didn't think they were getting paid enough.
There's quite a few paving companies.
But the only ones that bid on it are the only ones that we have. It's a very difficult business to get people to do, and I'm not sure why. But they can certainly bid on it. So I don't understand the bidding process for speed ups, but it can certainly be done.
If it's become cost prohibitive to support the needs of the community, we should dig into what's failing in the process. There's clearly a demand for the speed humps. And if we can't execute on those needs, then what's failing in the process? The process, it sounds like the bidding process is broken. Either A, the bids aren't written right, or
people aren't bidding.
bidding on some reason. And again, my history of bidding capital projects, people who don't want to bid on projects, they look at how they're written and they avoid those sort of projects because they're so prohibitive. Or there's so many other tentacles involved in those projects that they're like, I'm not gonna make money on that project, it's how it's written, out of scope.
Which is why it went up from the one who quit doing it for us to the one who's doing it now. So it used to be $9,000 to do 3 speed humps. It is now $15,000 to do 3. 3 is the typical number of speed humps, but we've got some really long streets now, like Spring and Christie, that are gonna take 6 to 8.
Have we talked to the supplier or the contractor and asked them why their cost has gone up so much?
That's not something that would be in our purview. That goes through Public Works, through Jennifer Kern, who is the director. I can certainly ask that question, but I do know it's a bidding, it is a bidding process, RFP. They have to
I
bid.
get it, yeah.
Yeah.
Could you all speak up, please? It's very difficult to hear everybody in this room.
What he was saying was, he was asking it what the bidding process is for doing speed humps for the contractors. There is a bidding process. We do have a contractor that's doing speed humps right now. The costs have gone up. I do not believe we had very many people bid on it last time to do it. But the costs are expensive, and the last contractor did not continue to do them because the cost was too low for them to make a profit, basically. So that's where we stand. And since we only have one contractor doing them, it also takes longer to get them done.
Would you be good enough to clarify something that,
I'll try.
for years, people have debated this. As a property owner in the Cherokee Triangle, for instance, you have the street, which you're telling me the city is responsible to maintain.
The road itself.
You have an easement between the sidewalk and the street. It's my understanding that the property owner is responsible for maintaining that easement, including planting trees and And maintaining trees and removing dead trees, is that?
True for the trees, if you're talking about the sidewalk. Okay, so for the homeowners, if they, the easement is from the middle of the road, 30 feet onto your property. That's public right of way. But in terms of trees, there is a special ordinance that says that you have to maintain, take care of those trees, cut them down if they're bad. I don't understand that process. I don't know that I agree with it. I get those calls all the time. But yes, that is the case. And some of our neighborhood associations,
And the easement and the sidewalk, you're telling me is actually owned by the property owner.
no, it's not owned.
It's owned.
It's owned. Right, there's a right of way. However, there are certain things that have been, ordinances have been created for that made homeowners responsible for certain things such as the trees and the easement.
All right, and now, as you got into the subject of sidewalks,
Uh-huh,
sidewalks are, again, on city property.
yes.
And you don't have the funding, you're telling us to repair all of them, but you will work with property owners to try to alleviate problems, particularly if there are areas where trees have caused the sidewalk to pop up.
Yes,
So, but there's nothing to find in terms of, it's a question of whether you have the budget to do that.
so there's different things. There's two different things. If you want me to replace the sidewalk, that would require us to pay for it out of the district money. Because there are so many of those, that is not a thing that we can actually do right now. There are so many of them. If you've ever reported your sidewalk as having a problem, it goes to Public Works. They have it in a list based on the condition of the sidewalk, based on the severity of the condition. And in that particular case, it is on a list and it works forward based on those conditions. And there is a sidewalk paving plan on the city website from Public Works that tells you which ones are already in that list. The ones I usually get calls about are ones that have never been reported, and now they are going to be way at the end for replacement. So what I'm trying to do is remediate them, get them reported so that eventually they can be replaced if they need to be. Or in some cases, if it's severely dangerous, Public Works will even, not all the time, this does happen occasionally, sidewalk is so bad that they go ahead and take care of it. But I need proof that it's bad. It can't just be cosmetic. It's not pretty. It needs to be a hazard. And their qualification for remediation in order to do what they need to do is it needs to be at least 2 inches higher than the rest of the sidewalk.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Betsy, do you know, is the mayor requesting more money for sidewalks in this upcoming budget, or is this, how much does the mayor budget for sidewalks across the city, and is it changing this year because of the demand?
To be honest, I don't know what the number is, but that is a request that everybody has made. So I'd have to look at that and I can get back with you on it. Okay. Yes, sir.
One thing to point out is that in historic neighborhood preservation districts, you use the Ohio Valley preservation mix as opposed to the 4,000.
Right.
So that, I mean, there are some people that have gone ahead and that white concrete.
They can't, they're not supposed to do that.
There are places that have done it.
Thank you for that. That's a good point. So if you do decide to repair it on your own or replace it on your own, you have to meet the city standards for what the sidewalk needs to look like. You need to work with Public Works to do that. So I've had those discussions a couple of times in the last month for people who don't want to wait, which I understand. They want to pay for it. That's great too, but you got to do it the way that it is intended to be done. So thank you for that question. Anybody else?
Betsy, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We look forward for, you're just a wild woman, walking on the wild. She continues to walk on the wild side. There's a safe side and electrified. She goes for the electric. Officer John. Yes, just.
I'll be brief, both. Thank you. I know we're kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I see him, he says, be brief or wearing brief. I know, I saw it from here. I could see it. from
It
here.
was too easy. Good morning again. I'll be really brief. I want y'all to know something. The Louisville Metro Police Department wants your businesses to thrive. We have many jewels in Jefferson County, but the Highlands is truly a jewel of Jefferson County. We want y'all to thrive. We want to help you. We'd like for you to help us. I loved your question about the waivers. Don't be afraid of this. We're not going to come down the street property, make an arrest. If you call us, it gives us permission to make the arrest should we need to. And officers do have discretion. They don't have to make an arrest. If someone's cooperative and they just leave, that's the end of it. No one goes to jail. But please get this QR code for me before you leave if you like. And it's very easy to do. And I always like to leave with a little education. All right. We have a lot of ordinances in the city. I know even I hate some of them, but they're valid. Don't park backwards on your street if it's a two-way street. Ordinance, if you ride the bicycle in the street, you must obey the traffic laws. Don't run the stop signs. I see it all day long. And I hope I never see anyone get run over, but I cringe every time I see a bicyclist fly through the stop sign or go around traffic. You must obey the traffic laws. There was one more I wanted to tell you. Oh, parking. You can't park between the roadway or the curb and the sidewalk. Don't hike your wheels up there. I know you do it to keep from being sideswiped on your street. That's just a hazard we have to live with. But you're on city property when you do that. You can't destroy that. Try to keep your neighborhood nice. All right. Abandoned cars, we're trying to take care of that. If you see one, call it into us. I have cards as well. My cell phone is on there. My email is on there. I prefer an email, but feel free to call me. Abandoned cars, abandoned houses, we'll go check those out. If it's within our purview, we'll handle it. If not, we'll turn it over to codes and regs or public works, whatever is required. But the division, that's old school district, division resource officer is the liaison between the police department and you folks. So use us, please. You'll justify my existence. All right. Any questions about the division resource? Yes, sir.
Two issues that I'd like to get police department on.
All right.
One is the amount of the number of people who park facing the wrong way, which is dangerous because if someone's driving along, it's illegal. It's dangerous because if somebody is coming along and the guy pulls out from the side you're not expecting.
Yes, sir.
Got a problem.
Yeah, you're driving on the wrong side of the street to get there and to get away from there. That's why it's a hazard. Yes, sir. Ooh, yeah, on Highland. Yeah. That is bad. So it's an ordinance. Don't do it.
Turn on the back on Highland.
Yes, sir.
Baxter, they
Yeah.
aren't expecting.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it is a hazard.
And every once in a while, when you have somebody look at it in front of the post office, it's kind of a theme for me because we have our lockbox there, where it goes our post office mail or membership duties going to that post office. So I'd like to pop in and check our mailbox. There's, the other day, there was a guy that was parked just east of the no parking sign. And he had not only a huge pickup truck, but also a trailer on it. And was filled all the way up to.
I see. Yeah.
Back, he was on, his back wheels were on the crosswalk.
Yeah. But if I'm not mistaken, the sign there, the signage, does it say, it says no parking, correct?
It does.
And there is a difference between no parking and no stopping. No stopping means don't stop here. Don't stop the vehicle here. No parking means don't put it there and walk away from it.
15 minutes is, and there's nobody in the car.
Yeah. Well, if we're there, we'll try to watch it. Since the weather's changed now, I've been parking and walking that very area right there. I'll watch for it. And I'll have a citation book in my pocket. So we'll try to watch that. Anything else, folks? Yes, sir, Mr. Thompson.
Are you seeing much copper in the area?
I'm a little disconnected from that just because of my assigned duties. We do have a metal theft detail that handles that. I'm not sure what the latest stats are. I believe we've cut it back quite a bit because they know we're out there now. But I can't really speak to it because I'm not involved in that. Sorry, ma'am.
Yesterday, I saw, sure. Yesterday I saw the news on the two-way streets. The one-way streets when it turned into two-way streets.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Please.
so I asked I'm talking about the one-way streets being turned into two-way streets, and so many times we see people that are in for conventions, they've been here year after year. They're used to that one-way street,
Sure.
and then they all of a sudden realize it's a two-way street. Is there gonna be more signage
Oh, boy.
to warn?
I hope there is. That's Public Works. And it's hard for me to speak to that. When they changed, it was either Jefferson or Market, they changed a few blocks east downtown, and we had residents who didn't pay attention to the signs and were still on the wrong side once they changed over. But good point. So, yes, sir.
And so, neighborhood, today with my family, my kids, dog, constantly picking up hybrid urban views. Should I continue to pick those up? I go pick up the newspaper, put it in a can, throw it in a dumpster, or is there a number I should call and log where the needles, the concentration needles are, so resources can be applied to that area?
Okay, let me start by saying never pick them up. If you're going to pick them up, put on gloves.
I do that,
You know,
and I can go back to the house and pick up gloves.
Disposing of them yourself is okay, I guess. If you call us, we'll pick them up. Yeah.
So, I'll give you an example, there were 8 needles in one block that I picked up today.
It's becoming more common too, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on, but
Yeah,
last night I picked. Two on longest.
Folks send me emails with pictures of them laying on sidewalk.
I will do that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Aaron, for the time. Thank you all very much again for having us.
Well, one thing that's very important in this community, it's been referred to, mentioned on occasion, it's tourism. And we're very fortunate today to have Nicole today to talk a little bit about businesses connecting in on a cash cow, the visiting members outside our community who bring in conventions and the curiosity of traveling our neighborhood. Nicole, coming up and sell us again.
If you cannot hear me, just raise your hand like this, and then that way I know to speak up a little bit, because sometimes my voice will tend to go down, and I gotta stay right here. So that's gonna hurt me. So good morning. My name is Nicole Fitzpatrick. I'm a community relations manager for Louisville Tourism. I have been at Louisville Tourism for over 21 years. So I have worked in the space of graphic design, advertising, motor coaches, the leisure market, and the convention market. So I've seen a lot of change. Before there was Whiskey Row, we're on the 23rd floor at 4th and Main, and I saw the growth where there was no place to go, there was nothing to do. You had the Science Center, and then the Muhammad Ali Museum, the Ali Center opened up. Was there for that grand opening, and then we start seeing the growth. The tourism just boomed. And it's still to this day. let me, it's an infographic, and it talks a little bit about, how much money that Louisville tourism brings in. Tourism is the third largest industry in Kentucky, next to healthcare and the automobile. And we bring in a lot of money. You see it, and this was done, this infographic was in 2021, 22. I am going to email Nick our new visitor profile that we just received. And it's going to have the most update information on who's coming to Louisville, what are they looking for, ages, income, average spend, and so on. So I will forward that to him along with a lot of other links. So we bring in about $3.5 billion. That's what tourism brings in. It creates 47 million in local income tax. That is a lot of money. And I travel a lot due to conferences or speaking engagements. And I will every single time meet somebody at the airport or on the airplane that just left Kentucky or Louisville or is on their way. I met a couple on the airplane coming from Denver. Her husband is a bourbon enthusiast. She doesn't like bourbon, but she loves bourbon infused cuisine. Asking where should they go? So of course, shared your neighborhood, Frankfurt Avenue, downtown, Nulu, but the Germantown, those pockets of where they could go. And they were coming here from Denver to just experience Louisville, never have been. But they see the commercials that we have ran there, the billboards that we put in these other cities. So if you don't see that marketing here in Louisville, I don't want you to think we're not doing it. We spend millions of dollars outside of Kentucky to get people to come here. We just lined 3 subways in Chicago, all Kentucky, Louisville, culinary, and bourbon. So if you go to Chicago this summer, you're going to think you're in Louisville. We also put up a large banner that is as large, at half the size of the Starks building, that talks about Kentucky. Come to Bourbon City. And I will say, although I oversee the Urban Bourbon Trail, and we have 35 plus participants, when they first asked me to manage that, I was like, I don't really drink bourbon. It kind of, it's hot. It hurts right here. With our bourbon industry, because of the history, the people behind the bourbon, the chemists, the agricultural, the farmers, there's so much rich history. So if somebody says, oh, I don't care to learn about bourbon, just take a moment and just go on those bourbon tours. We have almost 20 downtown, 20 bourbon tours that you can go on downtown. That was the largest we will ever have as of 2025. And people are still trying to grab up those markets. So you say, who's coming to Louisville? 38% of the people that are coming to Louisville is due to friends and family. Then we have the leisure trips, which is the 48%. And I've had this question posed to me many times. How many times, they're on the news. So many times you hear on the news, oh, they're losing Future Farmers of America. WHS, what are you going to do? And of course, our president and CEO, Cleo Battle, and our chief marketing officer, Stacey Yates, share that convention business makes up only 13%. So that other 87% means opportunities for you all. So I always say, number one, you want to make sure if you have an attraction to attend our attraction meetings. These are held every other month, hosted by Louisville Tourism, and I'm going to send you all of this information. And these are attraction meetings where you can actually create packages with other attractions. We have hotelers that attend as well because they want to build hotel packages. So whether you have a spa, whether you have a retail, whether you have a bar, it's a way to network. And there's no other place in Louisville, there's no other place like Louisville where people will help each other build their business. And then also, I want to share with you, I only brought a few of these. This is our Louisville Tourism 2023 year-end review. Now, we are going to have a destination forum. Destination forum date will be sent to you. It's going to take place in July. This is where every neighborhood, every business owner is invited to attend to learn what is it that we're doing, to hear all the deep data. I'm staying at 30,000 feet. We go deep in the woods and share all the data. And this is a one-sheeter that talks about attendance year over year. So many of our business owners, our entrepreneurs depend on this when they're building their marketing plan. If you're not on social media, I suggest you get on social media. TikTok, Instagram, that is where you market your business. And we're going to, if you need some help or need some resources or some tools, please contact me. I'm going to ask Nick to actually send out my information when I send out the links, and I'm happy to share that with you because that is where people are looking. Facebook, a lot of families are on Facebook. So if you want to market to families, that's Facebook. Instagrams, the millennials. TikTok, millennials and the youth. A lot of people will come in town. A lot of young people come in town and spend a lot of money. On average, people spend $600 to $1,400 while they're in Louisville. We want them to come back again and again. And it's because of people like you can make a difference with your Southern hospitality, the authenticity, and you say, okay, I want to come back to Louisville. There's more to see. There's more restaurants to dine at. And I'm also the culinary liaison. So if there's a press release, send me your press releases. We will share it with staff. We have a concierge staff of 25, and then we have 42 part-time staff, 64 full-time staff. So we have over 100 employees. We also oversee the visitor center at 4th and Jefferson. Stop there if you have not been there. Introduce yourself. Ask them if you own a restaurant, a retail store, anything that is that's related to tourism and hospitality. Take your business card, take your brochures, and say, can you keep it in mind if you're referring a business? They will do that. We also have a new visitor center right at the airport because we want to capture that audience as soon as they get off the airplane. They want to know, where can I go get something good to eat? Where can I go and get some mementos? Where can I shop? And they want businesses like yours. They want that one-of-a-kind gift you can't get anywhere. So every month we have our tourism development team. So we actually have 5 departments. Of course, there's finance and revenue, but we have our sales team. Our sales team, they actually sell Louisville. They travel nationally and internationally. We have reps in DC, Chicago, Atlanta. Then we go to Europe a lot and Asia. And that's what the international customer is staying over here 2 to 3 weeks. Think if you travel internationally, you're not going to go for 3 or 4 days. It takes you 3 to 4 days just to recover from the plane ride. You're going to go and you're going to stay and make sure you get your money's worth. That is what we do. Then we have this leisure newsletter that I'm going to send you, the latest one. We're going to put that out to you so that your business can be added to that. And then we also have Old Fashioned Fortnight that is taking place June 1st through the 14th. That is, you'll see the Bourbon's birthday, which is on June 14th. But the 1st through the 14th, we're expecting a lot of people to come in town to spend money. And we're also going to share that if you own a bar, I heard there's a couple of bars in here.
We have a table of 3 today.
3. Hello. So if you do not have entertainment, or if you do, suggest that you add bluegrass or bluegrass. We are, because of everything that's happened internationally, especially Canada, they are our largest, or were our largest export of bourbon. We have doubled down on our social media, entertainment. We're not trying to be Nashville, wine country, but bourbon country. We don't want all of the craziness that sometimes take place. Love Nashville, many families in Nashville. However, we want to make sure it's a place that's safe for everyone, inclusive to everyone, that where you can make money, you know that you can walk the streets and there's entertainment of bluegrass or bluegrass. That is what we're concentrated on. And you'll see a lot of festivals featuring that. So if you don't have entertainment, add some entertainment. We're seeing a lot more businesses do that. Also, we have the, I mentioned what's new is that we're hiring a social media manager and a social media coordinator. They will be stopping by your neighborhood. We had to. Louisville's grown so big that just our team alone cannot do it. We have to hire 2 people just to concentrate on sharing your story. And that more information to come on that as well. You do not, if you want, I'm also going to share, if you have an event, you can add your events to our events calendar. That is at gotolouisville.com. And we're running out of time, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share a video really quick of how we market Louisville. And then all the links will be sent to him. So thank you.
Is the simplest way to hook up with you all is what? Most direct, boom, boom, and you're in.
Yes, it's through me. If you go to our website, I'm going to have each department and who's the primary contact that you can talk to, whether it be meetings, your event and add it to the leisure letter, calendar content, social media. All that information we sent to you.
Right. If we're having and thank you very, very much. We're running into a little bit of a time issue. So if what we will do is, if you want to stay after the meeting and see the video, we have a couple of guest speakers we have to get to. So thinking forward, newer businesses, Brian Holden, I think you're here today to give us a little, come on up, sir, and give us a little bit update of what's going on at the old Pivot Brewing. Tell us what you've done to it to make it you.
Thank you.
Yes. Walk on the safe side.
Yeah, my name's Brian. I took over the Pivot spot on Bardstown Road, near Speed, next to the Post, and Cat Cafes, a couple doors down. We opened in February. Went through, tried to just make it a more cozy, welcoming vibe, space. In addition to that, I own Monic in Germantown. We've been open there for almost 10 years now. And it's a brewery and full service restaurant there. Yeah, we're open 7 days a week at Rose Hill, and I don't know what else to say. Any questions?
What about, okay, many communities come in and they're trying to create a niche. What is your niche in bringing your brand to Bardstown Road?
Yeah, well, the first business I opened in food and beverage was a small bar in Central Kentucky that focused on, really good beer, good lager, good craft beer. That was almost 15 years ago. And with this bar, I kind of wanted to get back to the cozy neighborhood pub kind of idea, a place for people between work and home, and focus on our favorite beers from Europe, mostly lagers. So most of our draft beer is from Europe. Monic makes a couple of beers for us that are just special to Rose Hill. And we have a nice wine list as well. That was really important to me to have a good, mostly European wine list. And we have a full bar, so we have, some classic cocktails mainly, so.
Well, when you say full bar, sometimes it says bar food. Do you participate in that concept?
We don't make food there. One of the things that appealed to me about the space is having the Post next door. We've known the owners of the Post for almost a decade now, and they're great neighbors and they make great pizza. And the idea is we want people to get the pizza and bring it over and enjoy it in our space. So
are there any other delivery services as far as food goes while they're in your establishment?
We don't promote any delivery services, but in addition to the Post, around the corner is El Mundo. So there's another good food option in the same block. And next door to us, in the next few months, will be Highland Fish Market.
Yes.
So that's coming. They're renovating it. They were drywalling last week, so it's getting close for them.
And how I'm sorry, but how long has it open?
We opened mid-February, so three months,
Yes, sir.
a little over 3 months.
Oh.
Pretty new still.
Well, Ken, I thank you enough for being here. I think you piqued the interest, especially if there are a lot of people walking down the cafe. So I'm sure that they might need a little pick-me. Some gift cards, but before we do that, we have representation from Paristown. Yeah, come on up and give us a little. No, thank you.
Thank you. Hey, how's everybody doing today? All right, I'll be brief because time is a crunch. And my first thing I'm gonna do is take a little bit of my time for a shout out for Nicole and the whole Louisville Tourism team. They are doing a fantastic job, and one of the reasons I've got to talk fast and get out of here is because they're bringing some folks over to Paristown today that we want to meet and talk to. We've got a couple of things coming on this afternoon, another one tomorrow, and we're out there trying to sell not just our community, but the entire community when we get these folks in from out of town with these conventions and stuff. So it's really something important to us. Nick, they asked me to talk a little bit about clay. You may have heard that. Okay. You'll see me over there at the cafe all the time. Who's not been to the cafe at one point in time? You long-term residents, never been to the cafe ever? Well, you need to get over there if you haven't. We've been around since the early 1990s in various forms. We're in our third location, and that's kind of like the base for our food and beverage program over there. I run the food and beverage. We've reimagined our space. A few folks who have been there since 2020. We had a large atrium between the two buildings, and we've reimagined that space and built a beautiful new. Well, I like to call it the barn, but it's probably too nice to call a barn. That's designed for parties. You can come in and have your wedding there, or have your reception there, or just have a great corporate event. We'd love to have some folks in to do anything. We can seat about 140 folks in there. We also have other private spaces around the campus where we can do anywhere from 2 or 3 people to 85 or 90, or like we did for Derby Eve, 1,500 people. So we have a lot of space and a lot of opportunities over there if you have anybody coming to town, or if you want to come and hang out with us. We'd love to have you there. The clay is what we talk about quite a bit right now, but the cafe and the experience that you've had there is not going away. So if you've got a favorite sandwich, I'm not getting rid of it for you. We're still going to be serving that incredible tomato dill soup, all those things that you'll love about the cafe. We're keeping, but we are trying to evolve the menu and evolve the experience. Particularly in the evening. The cafe has been around forever, and it was always just breakfast and lunch. And we've added a dinner service, and we're really focused on trying to make that a great experience. So you can come, bring your friends, and be proud of another great space to come to here in the city of Louisville. we have another venue coming online here a little bit later in June. We call it Uncle Boogie's. And that's going to be our bourbon experience. And to that end, we're developing our own brand of bourbon that's called Uncle Boogie's Straight Kentucky Bourbon. And that'll be a tasting opportunity, a tasting kitchen. And then some of you might be aware of a little regional show called Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. And that show has been taped in our space since 2020. And we have actually moving them into Uncle Boogie's, where it'll be a dedicated television studio in there, which we hope to create more bourbon and food and Louisville created content right there, because we'll have that equipment and space all ready to go. We can do a lot of things, a lot of flexibility, and we're pretty proud to be part of the neighborhood. You know, we're a little bit that way from here in the Highlands, but I live in the Highlands. This is my it's what I call home, and we're very proud of it. It's kind of neat to see this group of people, and that folks actually care about what's going on. That's always a fun experience. Again, I'm Ray Watkins. You're going to see me in the cafe, and I expect to see each and every one of you there. Okay? Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, I probably zipped right over that. Clay is how we are promoting the new space, or the new renovations that we've done in the building. Okay.
So it's an action, not a place.
Hmm?
Is it an action and not a place?
There we go. And you understand the Clay connection? Does anybody understand the Clay connection? Yeah, because in that space is Louisville, or well, it's not, I'm sorry, he'll be upset with me if I call it anything else, but Stoneware and Company. Okay, Stoneware and Company, and they can date their roots back over 200 years, and with a large part of that in that space. So we share that with them. Any other questions? I'll be around. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I know that no one was waiting for our gift card giveaway, but before that, Nick has a couple of new businesses to make you aware of. Very briefly, he's very good about being brief. And then gift card drawing.
I think everything we've talked about today involves businesses in the Highlands. And of course, we are the Highland Commerce Guild. And it's the businesses that attract visitors to Louisville, to the Highlands. And we have a great number of businesses. And I was going to talk about some recent new developments in the Highlands, but due to the time constraints here, I'm just going to say we have had approximately 6 new businesses that have either opened recently or are about to open. So we'll talk about those more at our next meeting when they get a little bit further along too, as far as their development. So I would like first to thank Brian Holden with Rose Hill for providing the $25 gift certificate last month. He wasn't able to make the meeting, but he did provide $25 gift card for last month's winner. And this month, today, Ray has been generous enough to contribute to $25. If you want to proceed with the drawing.
What? Deeper. Got a pocket.
Just give me the number.
Oh, number 17.
Number 17 is Dan Borsch.
Yeah, it
So we have won a gift card to the cafe, and that's 1 of 2. We have one more gift card for the cafe.
Number 18.
Number 18 is Ezekiel.
That's all me. Not just all me.
That's it.
That's the fun out of it.
Well, we could draw Louisville Tourism left nice prizes. I mean, let's do 2 of them, 2 of those items.
Done it. Bourbon.
Just yeah.
Oh, it's take care of me part. I need to.
Let's do 2 items there. Go ahead.
Not one, but maybe two.
Ralph Weber. 21 is Betsy Foster. That's it, that's it.
All right,
Thanks everyone for attending. We will see you next month.
yes. And please, there's fresh coffees, the Hill products, hang out, say hi. Oh, Lord. Okay.